This is one of those interesting projects for a customer that I've had for a number of years. We actually built this house back in 2011, 2012 when I worked with Larry. And they called and said, would it be possible? And these are always one of those projects that turns into, it could be something very strange or it could be something challenging. But they've got these areas here next to the bed that had these cubbies that we built where the roof line comes down, and they wanted to make more of a closet kind of thing. So there was a discussion of, what do you do? Let's open it up and see if there's anything weird in there. So I cut these little holes and took a look. Wasn't anything bad. Some wiring that needed to be moved, other things, but nothing terrible. So let's take it apart. You can start ripping in, and there's the framing you see. They wanted to extend it into the space, but not crowd the bed. Maybe get an area where they can hang some shirts, maybe some drawers. So we went back and forth, we measured and, decided on how far to bring the wall in, and then continued to just remove all this stuff. There wasn't anything bad, and there was no refrigerant lines for the mini split or plumbing or anything strange happening. There was foam insulation, which made moving the electrical kind of difficult, but luckily there was enough slack that I could just give it a good pull and move the receptacles and the switches to where I needed to move them. So got it all taken apart. And multi-step process. You cover everything up, you make sure you don't wreck the room, finish floors, bed stays in place, and dust control is important, but get it all taken apart and then start building. Extended the wall in, fabricated these boxes. Rather than make it like a deep closet, we just decided to make these cabinet boxes. Install them in place, trim them out. The fronts are all edge taped, so it's all finished plywood. And then put some shelves in on either side. And then it was time to measure for doors and drawers. And I don't build those anymore because there's no way I could possibly build them for what a cabinet shop can make them for. So I order them down to Eagle Woodworking in Lawrence, Massachusetts, and they turn them around pretty quick. So fast forward a few weeks, the customer took care of the painting. Like I said, we extended that wall in about 1.5 feet on either side so that we could get a little bit of deeper space. All the measuring back and forth was to accommodate, look, there I am in the mirror, was to accommodate shirts. You wanted to hang some shirts, but also be able to get some drawers in there. Didn't want the doors to hit the bed. Didn't want the drawers to hit the bed. So there was, it was a lot of, sketching out and measuring and trying to figure out how to fit what they wanted into this space. The bed was not going to change, so that was a set size. So in here on this side, we were able to get a hanging bar for shirts. And that receptacle there was in the cubby before. And then there wasn't anything else I could do with it except stick it in here. Because you have to, you can't just cap it and throw it in the wall. You got to leave it accessible. So on that side is that. And then in here we have, there's that shelf. And we could get 3 drawers. Nice drawer box from Eagle Woodworking. They did the drawers, they did the doors. The drawers with hardware and the doors with hardware is about $2,000, and there's no way I could possibly make them for that. I mean, I'd be still setting up the jig and the shaper to build these things. So, and the other side, exactly the same. And you've got your hanger, and there's another receptacle in there because that was in the cubby before. So I don't know, maybe plug your phone in there. And again with the drawer pullouts. And there you have it. So everything worked. The doors don't hit the bed, the drawers don't hit the bed. Reimagine the use of the space, you know. Not cheap. Many thousands of dollars to put this back together, but I think they got what they wanted out of it. Now it's on the owner said he would take care of the painting of the doors, and then I can put the handles on. And it'll be done. But yeah, fun project. But also, you know, one of those situations where when it starts with, do you think that we could possibly, it always ends up, you know, it could go sideways really fast. There could have been something strange in those walls. There could have been plumbing vent, or there could have been a big electrical service line running there. Like I said, the refrigerant line for the mini split could have gone up through there, but it didn't. So it all worked out.